when we talked last, we kind of give a more in-depth view on what a reading group and discussion groups are and everything. So we're not going to go into details as to some of the nuanced things of like an agenda or the organizing meeting and things of that nature. We can talk about that if you want to know about that, if you like. But we're just gonna get into like the more important things as to why you need to have a reading and or discussion group. Whether it's in your local Green Party group or any other left group that you're a part of, why something like this is important. And I guess I can provide a little.
Yeah. Can I just tell you guys why I'm here? I mean, it's I'm a UCLA
that'd be
student,
awesome.
and yeah, I'm kind of involved in a lot of different like clubs and things on campus, but none of them are like directly political.
What's cool?
And I'm trying to create a space where we can, have those discussions that are, super important these days. And I've been doing a lot of reading on various. I'm an ecologist, and so my political theory kind of started with some anarchism and Bookchin, and a few others. But I've really kind of branched out since then. But I'm trying to, help get people to start thinking a little bit more about like the ecological problems with capitalism, and also tie that to, political praxis as well as, some of the. I mean, it starts with the theory. So trying to get those conversations to happen and mix all the groups that I'm involved in and try to find all the people who are interested in having those discussions and kind of create a space for that.
What school?
UCLA. It's a pretty big one.
Oh, that's nice. I've heard it's nice.
Yeah. That sounds great, Jordan.
Yeah, and even what you described, it's even more important to have a reading or discussion group. And well, once upon a time when I was in undergrad, we kind of did that amongst ourselves. But it was just for our classes. We didn't do like an independent reading or discussion group like what we're offering tonight. But still, I think kind of, if I may, like that kind of infiltration of your classes and kind of inserting those kind of politics in those already constructed groups that you're in your classes will be great, because it's always great. Because even some of my former students always tell me, I'm like, we talked about Marx in my group. I'm like, good job. Now talk about these people.
Yeah, I've had only one class that actually like verged on the political, because a lot of my classes are very STEM focused, scientific, and so there isn't a lot of discussion. But those small opportunities to like bring into like have some very important discussions have really galvanized me. That's a good word. And I definitely want to get more active on that front.
Yeah, especially what you're doing. Because your degree is in ecology or thereabouts.
It's kind of social ecology in a very specific way, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
not specifically social ecology. I'm out in the field this summer doing physical ecology, but I much prefer the sociological, earth-changing aspects of what we need to do.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've read by now some of these things by now. So like things in deep ecology.
Yeah, I read Bookchin's polemic, Deep Ecology and Anarchism. That was my first introduction to that. But I'm actually reading another book or an anthology right now that has some deep ecologist thinkers involved in that.
Yeah, I've also encouraged some students who are in environmental science to do like read Animal Liberation Front stuff, but still have a little bit of a critique as to like what they do from time to time, but just pay attention to like what they're talking about. if you want to do what they're practicing, I mean, that's on you. But I mean, at least just pay attention to like what animal liberation is talking about and how do we become good environmentalists when talking about animal liberation and human liberation at the same time.
Yeah. A lot of my studies have been focused on our food system, but I personally think that it's systemic and that I'm not vegetarian or vegan for any of those, for like the systemic issues of the problem, and it's not individual actions that are going to save the world on that front. So,
for sure.
But I haven't done any reading on that.
Do you have that presentation up ready, Garrett?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt y'all talking. Let me hit share here.